Bernie Sanders recently was asked a question at one of his town hall meetings about whether we should allow not only people who have like former felons who have paid their debt to society to vote, which is for some reason a controversial thing in America, but for people to be able to vote while in prison. And this is what he had to say. He said, "I think that is absolutely the direction we should go. In my state, what we do is separate. You're paying a price, you committed a crime, you're in jail. That's bad, but you're still living in American society and you have a right to vote. I believe in that. Yes, I do." And of course, his state and Maine do allow people in prison to vote now, not as a hypothetical at some point. They allow the practice right now. And he believes we should move in the direction of allowing them to do that in other states as well. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's great. I think as the country with the largest percentage of incarcerated people, there's a lot of people who would be able to vote, and it would be easy to get them to the polls because.
Yeah, you set it up there, I guess.
But no, and I don't want to sound like I'm joking, but it would be a lot of people who would easily, I guess, somewhat be able to vote. And actually, I can't even say easily because there are a lot of things that should be easier in prison that, depending on who's running the prison, aren't. But I'm like seeking like medical care in certain situations. We were talking about a story last week about a man who wanted a blanket he wasn't allergic to. So we don't even know if it would even, what
were they gonna
would
do?
happen.
They were like gonna ban blankets so that they didn't have to give him a blanket?
They fought it in federal court for years instead of just giving him a cotton blanket. But I think that what Bernie's touching on here is that you go to prison, you still don't lose your American citizenship. And not being able to vote shouldn't be part of a punishment. I don't know. I think the punishment, when you're in court, the punishment is that you go to prison. You're locked up away from society. It shouldn't include losing the right to vote. Are you still 18? Are you still an American citizen?
Yeah, there's no necessary reason that would be included. And the issue is that when you are
the issue is we lock so many dang black people up.
That's also the issue.
And that is not who they want to vote.
But the people who are gonna respond negatively to this, they don't know that. It's an even distribution of society in prison. No, the issue is you get the punishment that we talk about, you're in jail, and then you get the punishment of everything else people think about you. And so the reason I wanted to cover this today is because this is probably going to be on Tucker Carlson tonight. Right. He's going to lose his mind. He's gonna be triggered by the idea that prisoners, although they have committed crimes and need to be locked up for whatever your theory of rehabilitation or whatever is, are still people and still have fundamental human worth and value and deserve respect. And the idea that they should be barred from voting and we shouldn't even have a conversation about it because it should just be so ridiculous. The very idea that they'd be allowed to vote, that is what the right and people like Tucker Carlson will advocate for. In Florida, when they had their big ballot initiative to allow people who had gotten out of prison to vote again, the response from the right was, why would you advocate for these people? Why are you defending their rights? You are supposed to be stigmatized because they are so stigmatized. In the same way as people who recently were advocating for sex workers in New York to be able to come out of the shadows. They are supposed to be so dirty philosophically that you should not waste your time to even think about them. And so that's why I'm glad that Bernie Sanders is willing to talk about it because he will be attacked. He's gonna go on Fox News in like a week to do a town hall, and I guarantee he will be attacked there for saying that prisoners should be able to vote. If you don't think that they should, if you think that there is some reason why them committing tax fraud or burglary or whatever means they should not be allowed to choose who their president is, then make that argument. But again, this is one of those things that you don't get to just skip. You have to actually make the case.
Also, let's be fair. The people who are in support of not letting felons vote, they're fine with the people who commit tax fraud being allowed to vote.
Yeah, that's probably true too. I just said a couple crimes that came to my mind.
Right.
Yeah,
it's the people who were found with whatever. I don't even know the measurements of like crack cocaine.
Inch. I think it is.
Is that what it is?
1 inch of crack cocaine. Yes. Yeah, that's 10 years per inch. I agree. By the way, most of the people who commit tax fraud are not in prison.
Right, there's that
probably
too.
doing okay. Some of them in the White House actually. Although we'll never find out because their tax returns are the most secretive thing in the universe. I will gaze into the Ark of the Covenant before I'll see Donald Trump's tax returns. Anyway, good job, Bernie Sanders. Go forward. None of the other candidates have signed on to this. Elizabeth Warren is interested in re-enfranchising felons who completed their sentence. Others have spoken out possibly in favor of that. Maybe this will start a conversation about people who are currently in prison. Thank you very much for watching this clip from the Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.